How's it going, everyone? My name's Corbin. Here's my note card. And today I'm here to persuade you about the acts we should take to limit high-intensity drinking in college. So we all know drinking culture is a big part about college, whether you're doing it just with your friends or a big group or going to bars and clubs like people do. And is there a problem with this? Some people would say no, some people would say yes, but the ultimate time is that college is a time for fun. We all know that people want to go to college to make new friends, have a good time. But unfortunately, big groups of people often lead to mistakes, which is high intensity drinking. So today I'm not going to try to persuade you that drinking should be cut off, immediately. But I do want to create a sense of urgency towards high intensity drinking and putting it to a limit because things like death, injuries, car crashes, etc. is all a result of this. So that's what I'll get into today. For starters, according to the University of Michigan ISR, 24% of college students aged 19 to 20 reported drinking more than 6 drinks on a single occasion. Now, that's not casual drinking, right? Maybe you go out with your friends, have 1 or 2 drinks, take an Uber back or be smart. However, 5 to 6 drinks, like per said from Michigan ISR, leads to, like I said, injuries, car crashes, drunk driving. Something interesting about this source I also saw, if students are living off or on campus and not at home, rates of injuries have skyrocketed by 15% per student. In addition, according to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 1,500 college students die every year from alcohol-related causes, including overdose, drunk driving, and injuries. So over 1,500 students die from these injuries after they take that 5 to 6 drinks down. So again, my cause here is let's limit the drinking, but let's not get rid of it completely. According to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse, high-intensity drinking is strongly linked to depression, anxiety, academic decline, trauma, and long-term addiction. What was interesting about this is it showed a chart of the schools that have less control over whether it's the fraternities or sororities, the underage drinking in the bars, the travel distance between dormitories and bars or fraternities. Trauma, injuries, and car crashes were up over around 50%. Now, according to the research from the Harvard Public School of Health, students drink more when they believe everyone is around them. Now, should we get rid of big groups because of this? No, but we should limit the alcohol intake. Now, big groups is what makes college thrive, per se. Whether, again, like I said, it's fraternities, sororities, big clubs, the bar setting. These big groups in college is that time to thrive socially. You learn social skills in college, etc. Unfortunately, like we've been into, it's often paired with this underage and over high intensity drinking. So what do we do? Well, this is easy. Colleges should require mandatory health protocols when it comes to drinking. Think of it as a training, not a course, not a class, and definitely not a punishment. But they should get into looking at trainings for each kid to help alcohol prevention. Is this already a thing? Yes. And that's an interesting part because according to the American College Health Association, campuses with prevention programs have lower hospital emergency rates. Now, some campuses that do this now, Northwestern University, Texas Christian University, they have high population in their schools, high population in their fraternities, sororities, and their bar settings, a high amount of bars, but they have less hospital rates because they implemented these courses. Now, how do they do this? Well, it's not a class or it's not a mandatory thing, but it's something that's introduced into your club or your fraternity or sorority. And what I mean by that is if you force things upon these students, lots of them will rebuttal and counter it. They won't go or they won't listen. So if there's a way that they can make this not mandatory, but voluntary, I think that would be the best way to do so. And how you can do that is maybe the training comes to your club, comes to your fraternity, sorority, comes to your dorm room, and they give you a little bit of information about it, and you get these people to really dial down on them. So today, again, I didn't want to persuade you that college drinking should be totally cut off, but it needs to be put to a limit. And I think the solution to that is, like I said, training purposes, a fun, easy way to do it that's not mandatory. And I think that will be the best way to do so. My name is Corbin. Thanks, everyone.